In our ever-connected world, we're constantly sharing our thoughts, our experiences, but sometimes our greatest impact can come from sharing the things that we know. These are the things we've learned, lessons we've grown from, and passions we've mastered. And that's exactly what we're seeing happen. People around the world are now sharing their knowledge as their body of work, building their credibility, their freedom of time, their way to earn an income, and for some, it's their legacy for the world. It becomes a manifestation where their imagination met creation, and what is most exciting about this time is that this movement is for everyone, because everyone is a creator. Everyone has a skill and knowledge they can share. No, they must share. No matter your location, your background, your story, your experiences, everyone can do this. You can teach the things you love and be able to impact the lives of others. You can teach the things that may seem simple to you and be able to grow a community around your work. You can create, inspire, follow your dreams, and change the norm. So we welcome you, the new creators, our next creators. Let this be your platform, because if there's one thing we know, it's that nothing is impossible and everything is teachable. And we're live.
Hi, Jess.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good, thinking yourself.
I am doing well. I'm so excited for this. So excited to be here.
Me too. I really want to learn how to improve and create amazing courses.
Awesome. So everyone, let us know in the chat if you can see us, you can hear us. We are officially live. And I have to say, it's been great seeing people already in the chat typing in even before we started. But yeah, let us know where you are tuning in from. And I mean, Susie, you are in a new location as of recently.
I am. Yeah, I am in Orlando, Florida. We just moved last week or like a week and a half ago from Jacksonville. And we're still back and forth between the two cities, but we're slowly settling into Orlando. And in a week and a half, we're taking my daughter for the first time ever to Walt Disney World for her 5th birthday.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm so
Okay.
excited.
Well, have a blast. And I can see we've got people from all over here. I see Laura says it's tea time here and I have 5 kids, so I'm worried I will miss something. Don't worry. So we're doing some special things live, but we will send you an email tomorrow if you do miss anything. Katie says tuning in from Brazil. Nicole from Tampa, Florida. We have Charleston, Tennessee, Las Vegas, a fellow Canuck from Toronto, Canada. Awesome. Well, I think we are ready just to dive into this.
I love it.
I'm so excited. So today's workshop is all about creating an online course. And I just want to say that this workshop is jam-packed with information to the point where we've had people just apply everything you're about to learn and get results from it. So please ensure that you have like a notebook, a pen, maybe you take screenshots just because I want to ensure that you get the most out of today's workshop. But without further ado, I'm just going to switch my screen. Let's jump into it. And let me know if you can still hear and see. But welcome. So today's official title is the Creator Challenge, how to create your own profitable online course in the next 3 months. Now, what is on the agenda for today? So I'm going to be talking about why so many people are creating their own online courses to increase their income and their impact. I'm going to be sharing the 6 key steps that we see our successful course creators like Susie use to go from idea to having an online course that they're proud of with happy students and with meaningful revenue. But I'm going to show you how you can accomplish that within 60 to 90 days. Then I'm going to talk about how do you choose a profitable course topic, one that you're actually excited about, but also ensuring there is a demand for it. So you actually know that there are people that will want to buy it and enroll. Then you're going to discover how to easily set up your online school and your storefront, accept payments, basically everything that I think gives people those tech headaches. We're going to go through it. And then you're going to get a templatized course marketing calendar. So I think this is probably the crowd favorite. This is what everyone waits for. I'm giving you a launch calendar. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you what to do every single day, what email to send, like what do you do before the launch? So you can just steal this and apply it to your launch. And then we have a major announcement, which is I'm so excited for this. We have our creator challenge that I'm going to be talking about, and Susie is going to be a part of it with us, which we're super grateful. And it's really just a fun event that we're putting on to give you that accountability, that community, that mentorship that I think so many people want in order to take action on their idea. So we've got you covered, and I will talk about that at the end. Now, if you've opened up this tab and you're like, what is this? Why am I here? Well, this workshop will be perfect for you if you are a blogger, a creative, a freelancer, maybe you're a coach or consultant, or maybe you're just looking to grow an audience and your credibility, or you just want to grow a business while also helping a lot of people and just making an impact. Now, like I said at the beginning, my big promise to you is that in the next 60 minutes, you will walk away with a personalized roadmap to launch your own profitable online course. I am not holding anything back, but because of that, and because we have, a very limited time, do take notes and screenshots, because that is probably one of the biggest things that we hear at the very end of our workshops. People are like, I am so glad I took notes here because I can actually do something with it. Now, I want to first off start by talking about the why. Why online courses? Maybe you've seen people like Susie use them in their business, or maybe there's just a topic you are incredibly passionate about and you want to share that with other people. Now, one of the best ways to describe it is with a very short story. So a few years ago, I was actually working as a web designer, and all of my work was one-on-one with clients. Now, let me know in the chat if that is where you are currently at. So either you're doing one-on-one work, or maybe your income is just dependent on you having to physically show up to earn it. Now, Susie, before you started getting into online courses and creating those additional revenue streams, were you ever in that position where you had to just show up in order to earn an income?
Yeah, definitely. So I had my corporate job before I started blogging and before I started becoming an entrepreneur. Corporate job, had to go to it, had to show up, be in my seat in my cubicle. Man, it was just a sea of cubicles. And that was your life. And I worked up in Wisconsin, so I would go to work when it was dark, and then especially in the winter times because the days are so short, and then I would come home and it's dark. And I would not even see the sunlight because you're inside the building, in the middle of the building, you don't see windows, and you're just sitting there on your little cubicle. So being an entrepreneur and being able to create online courses and share our knowledge just allows you to be so flexible in where you live and what time you work and kind of how you create a living.
Yeah, absolutely. And just looking in the chat here, we're seeing that people are saying, yeah, I hate having to be on the page view. Hamster wheel. Oh, try refreshing the page. Depending on your internet connection, if you're not seeing it stream, you might need to refresh. But yeah, let me know in the chat if that's where you are currently at. So that's exactly where I was. And one year, it was my grandma's 90th birthday, and all of my friends and family decided that we were going to fly back home to Canada and throw this massive surprise party for her. So we do that. It gets to the morning of her birthday, and I really quickly just checked my emails. And I got one of the most dreaded emails I think anyone who's doing one-on-one work can get. It was this. And actually, let me know if you relate to this. You've been here. I had a client that said, hey, Jess, we love our website, but there's just a couple of small changes that we want done ASAP. Now, we all know what this means. There is never such a thing as a small change. And I was stuck at home just feeling so overwhelmed. I remember just being so frustrated knowing that I had no way out of this. I had to get this done, which meant that I was stuck at home while the rest of my friends and family were essentially partying it up with my 90-year-old grandma. And that was a pivotal moment for me when I realized two things. And maybe that's where you're at now. Maybe you are at this realization, which is that yes, your time is valuable, but it's also limited. No matter what you're doing, even if you're passionate about what you're doing, you are still restricted to how many hours there are in a day to do that. So this is where online courses come in. And I mean, there's so many reasons why they're impactful, but reason number one is you can make extra money. So we've seen people make an extra couple $100 a month to replacing their full-time income with their online courses. Now, Susie, I know for you, I mean, that was a big thing for you where you got to a point in your business where you were making as much as you were when you were working full-time.
Yeah, and it was amazing.
Yeah. And actually,
It was, huh?
oh, no, sorry.
It was such a blessing that it just happened, and I like listened to my audience and saw what they wanted, and then slowly created a small course, and then made it bigger and bigger, and then it just grew. So it's an amazing process.
It really is. And I would actually love to know, for those of you that are watching this now, what is your monthly income goal when it comes to launching your course? Now, I want you to type this into the chat. Type A if it's 500 to 1K per month, B 1K to 3K, all the way up to E over 10K plus per month. Now, I'm not asking you to type this in just for the sake of it. In a later step, I'm actually going to give you a very simple to use math formula so you know how to work backwards to know what you realistically need to have in place to hit that goal. So I want you to really think of like, well, what do I want to make? So type that into the chat. And oh goodness, okay, seeing this already. Corey says D, Monica says C, Jenny is an A. We've got some E's, D's. Liz wants over 10K per month. This is great. Okay, so keep that number in mind. I'll show you what you need in order to hit that. But reason number 2, you do the hard work up front, but then your course becomes an asset. Now, this is not a get rich quick scheme in any means. There is work involved. There is time involved. However, because this is a digital product, it means that you don't have to keep recreating it every single time that you want to sell a copy. Reason number 3, become this mini celebrity in your space. Now, no, you're probably not going to be Zoolander famous, and the paparazzi probably will not be following you. However, you do gain credibility and you just grow this incredible community around your work. And I want to give you a real life example of this. So this woman right here, her name is Jessica Sprague. She has over 80,000 students in her courses. Now, I feel like we just kind of throw numbers around sometimes and we don't really stop to think of what does that actually mean? So that is the equivalent of her standing in this photo right here, which for my fellow Canucks, this is the 2010 Winter Olympics in Vancouver. This photo is of 80,000 people. So that's like her standing in the middle of that stadium, and the entire crowd of people don't just know who she is, but she has had some form of an impact on each of their lives just from her online courses. Reason number 4, you get off the content hamster wheel. And we see this a lot with blogging, YouTubing, podcasting. Now, I first off want to say I'm in no way saying you should not do these things. In fact, I think you should. They are incredibly valuable. But when we only rely on this type of content to generate an income, what we'll find is that we have to keep reinventing the wheel every time. Now, if you love doing that, that's great. But why not add in an additional stream of income so you can do it as well? And I just want to say that like we've had people go through this training and get results. And it's not just going to be about the financial aspect. Like you'll see me say like, oh, like this person hit this amount of money with their courses. Yes, that's great. But I also think it's just the amount of people you can impact with what you're doing. And that actually leads me to reason number 5, which is that you can help more people because you're no longer restricted to how many hours are in a day. So you can help tens, hundreds, thousands of people just from one course. Now, I want to know, out of those last 5 benefits, which is the most exciting for you? Which was the one where when you heard me say it, you lit up and you were like, this is why I am here. This is why I want to make this happen. Type into the chat. And Susie, when you got to the point where you wanted to start creating online courses, what was your big why?
So my big why was to get John home. My husband worked from 5 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the evenings, and I was home with the kids, and I didn't see him anymore. And it just felt like once I became a stay-at-home mom, he was gone all the time. So it was hard because I missed my best friend and I wanted him to be home. So I worked my tushy off to generate an income and to help other people, and especially moms because I love like talking to that audience because I know our issues and I know what we're struggling with, to ultimately bring John home and then just spend more time with my family.
That's great. And it's awesome that you've been able to do that. I saw your post when you posted on Facebook that you retired your husband. It was so neat to see. And yeah, Looking in the chat here, Jenny says, yeah, I'm not looking to replace my day job. I like my day job. I just want to make extra money to help pay off my mortgage early so that we can retire early. This is great. Monica's saying that courses being high leverage and an asset. Thanks for sharing this. Now, maybe you care, maybe you don't, but I'm Jessica Torr and I lead partnerships here at Teachable. And one of the most interesting things of being here at Teachable is as a team, we have watched, well over 20,000 people create their online courses. And collectively, our creators have sold over $300 million in courses over the last 5 years. And what we're doing today, the reason why Teachable has a bit of an unfair advantage when it comes to presenting this content is because we have access to the behind the scenes data for all of the courses. We talk to our creators all day, every day, literally. And we've really started to see what works and what doesn't. And we've come to a pretty incredible conclusion, which is that anyone can create a profitable online course. You just need to know the steps to take and have a proven process. So that is exactly what we're going to be walking through today. I hope you're ready for this. We're going to dive into step 1, which is finding your most profitable course idea. All right. Now, there's only 3 categories of people, and I want you to pay very close attention to which category you fall into. Also, type it into the chat. So type 1, if you're excited, but you have no idea what you want your course to be about, and you just don't know where to start. Type 2, if you have an idea for your course, but now you just need help refining and tweaking it. And type 3, if you have a ton of ideas for courses, and you just need to figure out, okay, which is going to be the most profitable? Type into the chat, but as you're doing that, I just want to say that no matter which category you fell into, there are thousands and thousands of profitable course topics. We have seen so many different things from watercolor painting, dentistry, card magic, drone flying. One of my personal favorites for niches, copper deficiency in goats. 3,000 students in this course. So when people say to me like, oh, I think my course is too niche, I'm telling you, if you're passionate about it, there's going to be people that want to learn about it. And speaking of watercolor painting, I want to introduce you to Angela Fair. Now, she has courses on watercolor painting, and she's making between $2,000 to $8,000 a month just from her course sales. And the reason why I think she's such an incredible example is I think a lot of people feel that there is a certain topic that they have to teach in order to be successful. And I think for a lot of people, it's, well, if I'm not teaching people how to make money, why would they buy my course? Now, I want to tell you that we have seen so many options and most of them don't involve teaching people how to make money. But let's figure out what does your course idea look like? What should you do to make it profitable? So let's workshop this together, and I want you to type into the chat as ideas are coming in. But what is it that you're good at or passionate about? What are you already interested in? Are there things that you've done, skills that you have? I want you to type this in. Excuse, you can hear New York City in the background. But I want you to also think of what is the topic when it gets brought up in a conversation that you just cannot wait to jump in and start talking about it? Or what is the thing where people seem to always come to you for advice on? I want you to think of it like that and type it in. Now, as you're doing this, there is a myth that comes up and I love to debunk it, which is this. You're probably like, okay, Jess, there's a lot of things that I'm passionate about. I just don't feel like I have any ideas where I'm enough of an expert to actually sell an online course on this topic. Let me know if this is how you are feeling. I think another way of describing it is imposter syndrome. But Susie, have you ever experienced that feeling when it comes to creating new things?
Oh yeah, definitely all the time. It's hard to have that confidence in yourself that you're allowed to teach other people. What helps me get over that is when my friends come to me or my family and they ask me for help. Like somebody who's 10 steps behind me or a couple steps behind me, and I can help them along because I just recently went through this. So even if you're not an expert in something, you are good at some things that you can teach somebody else and help them get to the level that you are. So A lot of creating courses is just having that confidence in yourself and knowing that you can do this.
I'm so glad that you brought this up because it actually brings me to a very important point. Who here was in school who had a teacher who was very good at doing something, maybe not the best at teaching it? I know I had a math teacher one year who was literally a genius. Now, the problem with this was that when I would ask him for help, even his explanations were just too advanced for me to grasp onto the concept. What I very quickly found, because I wanted to get those grades, if I turned to my friend, who was just a couple steps ahead of me, she was able to break it down in terms that I could actually understand. And that's because she was using language that I understood. She knew the pain points, the mistakes I was making, but equally, she had a solution. So for you as a course creator, like, you don't want to be the world's most knowledgeable person in a specific topic. You know, if you're teaching someone about, let's say, acting, we don't want Will Smith teaching a newbie because he's so far removed from those struggles, the pain points, the mistakes people make. Someone that's a couple steps ahead will have much more relevant information. An example of this is Penny Williams. So she has courses that help parents who have children with ADHD and autism on how to thrive. And she's sharing things that she experienced from her own personal experience and things that have helped her, and she shares that with other parents. But just note, though, that the most important thing to remember, your course needs to provide a transformation to your students. And Susie, I think this is why your courses are so incredibly well done, is because you get this. When people go and enroll in your courses, they know what to expect at the end of it. And in fact, I saw people in the chat saying, I think it's Blog by Numbers, like, I'm so excited, it was so great. And this is important, and you can take this too and apply it to your courses. So an example of this: get 1,000 new email subscribers in the next 90 days with strategic list building methods for bloggers and entrepreneurs. Note, it does not say grow your email list fast. You know, it's very specific. You know what to expect. Or 10x your traffic from Google. Or learn how to free dive to depths of up to 10 meters on just a single breath of air. Now, I want to know, who here thinks that the more information you teach in your course, the more valuable it is? True or false? Let me know. Susie, what are your thoughts on this?
Man, it is so enticing to put more and more into your course, but what happens is you overwhelm your student and then they never complete it, and then they never go through that transformation. So I have some big meaty courses that I've added to and they've kind of grown. But my small courses that probably will take somebody a week to go through or a day if they're very focused, I get more reviews on those, the smaller ones, because somebody can go through it quickly and go through that transformation. So don't be afraid to, like, your first course, it not be huge. It can be small. As long as it takes somebody through that transformation, they're going to write you that review at the end and be like, oh my goodness, I did it. I completed it. It wasn't a marathon. It was a sprint and I could do it. So yeah, it's a false to your question.
That actually reminds me of, I recently heard someone bring up that happy students don't talk about your courses or recommend them. Successful ones do. And if you can get people to an outcome, it's so incredibly valuable. And I really do hope that everyone took the biggest sigh of relief, because your course does not need to have a massive amount of information. And a good online course should simplify things, because no matter what you're teaching, we can all go into YouTube and Google right now and figure out how to do it for free. However, if you have ever tried to learn anything on the internet for free, what you may have experienced is that you end up learning more than you need to. It's overwhelming because you don't really know what steps to take, in what order. It's just, you make more mistakes, it takes longer. So the reason why people pay for courses is because the value is in you simplifying and aggregating and helping them sort through that noise. All right, so let's just recap here. For you to find your profitable course idea, step 1, you write down the topics you're passionate about, the skills that you have. 2, you figure out the outcome that you're going to provide your students. So it's all about that transformation. And I'd highly recommend you look at Susie's courses to see, like, what does a transformation look like? And then step 3, You choose the most impactful. All right, we've just finished step 1. I can already hear you. You're like, what? That was only step 1, Jess? That was so long. But just note, this is intentional. I need to ensure you have a strong foundation to build off of. Now that you do, let's go on to step 2, which is setting your income goals. So we found that the easiest way to launch your course is to build a small but engaged email list. And this is of people who are genuinely interested in your course topic. And then what you do is you launch your course to that list. Now, before you can launch your course and make money, you really need to understand that there is a quote unquote magic formula behind how you're going to actually hit your goals. I cannot tell you how many people go into launching courses without doing this step, and then they're disappointed with the results and they don't understand why. That's not going to be you though. We need to get clear on what is your revenue goal, and then working backwards, how many people do we need in your following, in your email list? The conversion rate, and the conversion rate is a percentage of people that turn into paying customers, and then the price of your course. Now, don't worry, I will be coming back to this and we'll workshop it together. But when you do have that list of fans who know, they trust you, it is so much easier to hit your income goals and launch your course to them. And I actually want to know where you're at. So who here already has an audience? I want you to type into the chat if it's Facebook, an email list. Let me know how many people, maybe it's MySpace. And if you're starting at 0, I want you to type in 0. Now, Susie, when you launched your first course, did you have an audience already? What did that look like?
Yeah, I had a list of about 2,000 people when I launched my first course. So, and that took me a long time to grow. It took me, about a year to grow that list. So if you guys are struggling and your list is taking some time to grow, don't worry. Like, test out different freebies, try different strategies. It takes time to grow a list, but once you have that audience, man, then the hardest part is already done.
100%. And looking in the audience, in the chat here, we've got quite a varied response here. We have Corey has 10,000 people on Facebook, 5,000 on email. Nicole says 0, 250 in a Facebook group, 0, pretty much 0. Okay, this is great. Thank you for sharing. I just want to say though, for this workshop, I'm actually going to assume that everyone is at 0. Now, if you have an audience, you have a bit of an advantage, but really you can go from 0 to an audience of a couple hundred people, maybe 1,000, relatively quickly. You just need to know what to do. So I will be talking through that in just a moment, but let's come back to this formula. So let's just do this together. For this example, I'm actually going to assume that your course is priced at like $100 to $300, but you can fill in the price of your course here. Let's say that you wanted to make $1,000. Working backwards, we're going to say that your conversion rate is 2%. Now, 2% is actually an industry average. We consider it good. So I want you to use this rather than overestimate and then be disappointed. So we're going to put 0.02, and then the price of your course, we're going to say is $200. Working backwards, what that means, you would need 250 people in your following. If you've opened up a new tab and you're scrolling through Facebook, I want you to come back and really look at this. 250 people. That is 5 people in the entire World Wide Web that have to purchase your course to hit your goal of $1,000. And the reason why I want you to really look at this is because I don't want you to ever feel discouraged if you only have 100, 200 people on your list or once you start to grow it. In fact, Essay Edewamade, she's a Teachable creator. She had a launch of $30,000 with 350 people in her following. Yeah. And it's just when you grow a list of people who are genuinely interested in the topic you're teaching, they're people that are going to be a natural good fit for your course. So everyone can do this, including you, but let's actually talk about how you're going to do that in step 3, growing your audience and your email list. So you might be sitting here and thinking, well, how do I grow my initial list? Like if I'm just starting out, like what do I do? And what's interesting is that every successful course creator is doing it in the exact same way. to the point where I've yet to see anyone doing it differently. You need to give away free value, whether that is free content, a piece of your course, in exchange for someone's email address. And then what you do is you launch your course to that list a few weeks later. Now, the best or arguably worst analogy that I have for this, who here goes to Costco? I know my mom and I do. Susie, I don't know if it's still the hip place to hang out, but you guys can let me know in the chat. Regardless, I want everyone just to close their eyes right now and imagine that you're walking down an aisle in Costco. Now, I want you to imagine that someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, we have these box of cookies. They're $20. Are you going to buy them?" Now, I don't know about you. I love cookies, but if someone said that to me, my first reaction would be, well, no. I don't know if I like them, and to be honest, that seems kind of expensive. Now, I want you to imagine that you're walking down another aisle, and someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, we have these free samples of cookies. Would you like to try them?" Now, let's say you do, and it is the most delicious thing you have ever tried before. Now, do you think you're going to be more inclined to purchase a box for $20? And the truth is, yes. And it's the exact same principle when it comes to you selling your courses or really anything. We need to show people why it is that you can provide value up front before we can ever expect them just to pull out their credit card and pay for your products. Now, we have 18 strategies that we use to grow an email list. This is inside our Teachable You Academy. Now, I'm actually just going, if you're a Teachable customer, you've probably seen this. If not, though, I'm going to give you 2 of them right now, which is this. And also, Susie, I'd love to hear from you too, because I know you have a gazillion incredible launch building or list building strategies. But method 1 is the giveaway. So this is great if you're just starting out. I'm going to type into the chat here, but you can use a tool called KingSumo or Gleam.io. And what happens is someone enters their email to be entered in your giveaway, but they're then prompted to share it on social media to get 3 additional entries. And what you'll find is it feels like your giveaway is kind of going viral because everyone is sharing it for those additional entries. All that I would say though, ensure the prize you're offering is so specific that only your target audience would want to win it. Otherwise, you're going to get a heap of people that want a free prize, not necessarily people that are going to be interested when you launch your course. Method 2 is the mini course. So a mini course is just a small but valuable course, and it should solve a small problem for your ideal audience. It's totally free for them to go through, but to get access to it, that's where they enter their email. And usually it's just a small piece of your paid course, or it's an introduction to the topic that would lead into your paid course. The reason why this works is because if someone is interested in your mini course, well, they're probably going to be a great fit for your paid course. So how it looks is, this is Benny Lewis. He has a free email course called Speak in a Week. It teaches people how to learn to speak different languages. And after you go through it, he then invites you to join his premium course for $97. Or Mark Dawson. So he has a paid course. It's called Facebook Ads for Authors. And he sells it for like a couple $100s. What he did is he created a free mini course to teach an introduction on the topic. And all it is the 3-part video series. Takes about 45 minutes to go through, but people love it. Now, after he's been generous, he's shown that he can help you. What he does is he offers you the option to enroll in his advanced paid course. And when you're doing this, a few really interesting things start to happen. You're going to start to grow a list, but these are people that are engaged. They're building a great relationship because they're getting value already. And if you're starting out, you'll start to be getting positive feedback, and you can use that for testimonials to help you sell your paid courses. Now, you want to ensure that you're transparent with where you got the testimonial. So you can't pretend that they paid for your course when they didn't, but it is a great way to build social proof. And Susie, I'd love to know, for you when it comes to growing your list leading up to a course launch, are there things that you found that are helpful?
Yeah, so what I do a lot of times is offer printables. They're super easy to create. You can use Canva or PicMonkey or PowerPoint to create these beautiful printables and offer them as freebies in exchange for somebody's email address. or then free mini courses, which have worked really well too, because somebody signs up for it and they're completely wowed by all the content that they get into like a free little course. And then it's a great segue to your paid course because they're like, wow, if this person gives me so much and so much valuable information in their free course, I wonder what's going to be in their paid course.
Yeah, and actually just a follow-up question to that, because I think some people might be thinking like, wait, I give away so much value. Like, why would they pay for my course? What would you
Yeah.
say to those people that might be thinking that?
So give away like the beginning step, the first step that solves the entire problem, right? So there might be, you want to go, I don't know, what if your issue is how to be a better mom, right? How to be more patient as a mom, because it's kind of hard sometimes. So maybe in your free mini course, you give them like one really solid tip and one thing they can apply right now to be more patient with their kids. And they start applying it and they're like, wow, I actually had a better day. And then you have like 20 more tips or 20 more actions or how to have these tips stay sustainable in your life. So it's okay to give something away for free that's going to kind of lead them into your course.
That's great. And just so you guys know, for those of you that have questions, we'll save time at the end to answer any questions you have. So definitely keep those coming. But so we have 18 strategies. I mean, with all of Susie's tips, I'm sure we could come up with like 100. But who here thinks that they can do one or two of them? And I think everyone can, but I want you to type into the chat. Let me know which ones specifically you are going to try, and let's set a date. So I want you to set a date for when you are actually going to at least start to do that. And then after you're doing this is over a 10 to 14 day period, you'll have a list that starts to build. And then in the very last step of this workshop, I'm going to show you how you launch your course to that list. Now remember, this is a crowd favorite. This is where I'm giving you an actual course marketing calendar. But before we get ahead of ourselves, we need to talk about step 4, creating your school and a sales page that converts. So we've actually found that there's 5 key things that you need when you put your course online. 1, it should be absolutely beautiful, but you should be able to do that in less than an hour, regardless of your technical expertise. You do not want to be spending hours and hours and hours on this. It should be simple. 2, make sure you have your own domain name. It's a credibility booster. It looks professional, but it's also so much easier for people to remember. 3, make sure your course website is mobile optimized. Now, this is no longer just a nice to have. This is essential. So what that means is if I go to your course website on my phone, on a tablet, on a computer, you want to ensure that it displays nicely on every device. 4, make sure you have total control over your students' data and emails. Now, I bring this up because sometimes people can get confused with creating their own course or creating a course on a course marketplace. Now, what you'll find with there's course marketplace sites out there that say that they will promote or advertise your course for you. But the catch with that is that they own the email addresses of your students. So if you decide to move to whatever platform that you want, or you start your own platform, you can't bring your students with you. Or they also cap the prices of your course. They'll discount your courses for free. And that's totally fine. Like, that's how they work. That's what they do. It's great for a student if you're buying courses. But as a creator, just ensure you have the control. You're the entrepreneur. You should have that set. And then 5, make sure you can accept payments on day 1. And I'm going to let you in on a probably not so little secret. You can do all of this on Teachable. And what it looks like is you have a beautiful sales page where you can send people to enroll in your course. Then after they enroll, they get access to your course. It looks super professional. And then you have a place that your students love to learn. You can be proud of it. But as you as an entrepreneur, as a creator, you can track all of your sales and your income in one place. Now, once you have your school, we need to talk about sales pages because I don't want you to just have a beautiful one. We need one that actually converts. So there are 6 things that you need on your sales page. So I'm going to be using Pat Flynn's sales page here. Now, above the page folds, you have your title and your subdescription. It is so important that you are clear on what the outcome is of your course without someone having to scroll down the page to get more information. So, for example, it's a step-by-step course to launch a successful podcast that gets found and grows your online brand. That is so clear. Like, you know exactly if this is going to be for you or not. Then we have video. If you were to click on this, a video appears. And video is probably one of the most impactful things that you could include on your sales page because it shows people there is a real person behind the course. It does not need to be professionally filmed, but just know that so people can see you're excited, you're passionate about it. Then you have your course description. So when you're talking about what's inside your course, the different sections, don't just list everything that is there. I want you to actually explain at each stage, at every step, what is the outcome that your student will achieve at the end of it. Then we have testimonials. So rather than just getting written testimonials, something that's really neat that we're seeing a lot of people start to do is video testimonials. So you can ask your students to record a selfie video, or you can actually set up a Zoom call and interview them. Now, this is great because you can ask them questions like, what were your hesitations before you purchased my course? Because the people watching this may have the same hesitations. Or what was the outcome that you achieved? And what was your biggest aha moment? You can ask them those questions. And then last but not least, having a payment plan. So especially if you are charging a premium price, that means that not everyone will be able to pay for it all in one go. Now, rather than just pushing those people out, you can make it more accessible by offering a flexible payment plan without devaluing the price of your course. All right, you can't see me. Well, actually, yes, you can. I'm giving you a virtual high five. We're through the first 4 steps. Whew, this is a lot, but now we are ready to go on to step 5. Now, this is a step that you've all been waiting for. The step you're so excited, creating, recording your content. I can hear you cheering. Crickets. You're like, no, that sounds like a lot of work. Let me know in the chat if you're feeling like the actual course creation part, that's the part you're dreading. The good news, it's not that hard. And I'm going to show you the easiest way to create your course content, which is this. You need to create a course outline. So I want you to write down the process step by step that someone needs to go through to get whatever the desired outcome is that your course provides. Now, if you have been struggling at this step, if you've tried to come up with a course and you're just like, this is where I get stuck, what you might find is that your outcome or your transformation is too big or too vague. So what I mean is, like, if let's say your transformation is how to live your best life, that's going to be very hard to break down into very tangible steps. But you could get more specific on like how to increase your confidence or whatever it is. But just if you're struggling with creating the steps, it might be because the outcome is too big. Then each step in your outline becomes a section. Now keep it to 6 to 12 sections, nothing more. And then in each section is where you put your video lectures. Now, when it comes to creating the video, the easiest thing to do is just to answer 3 questions. What are they about to learn? Why is it important? And you'll notice that even at the beginning of this workshop today, I explained to you why online courses were important so you understand what you're about to learn and why it's relevant to you. And then, how do they do it? And you show them. Now, Susie, when it comes for you creating your content, are there any things that you have found to kind of help you create your course outline and like get your courses out?
Golly, so the outline is almost what takes me the longest. The outline is the planning, like thinking of the transformation, organizing the steps, making sure I'm covering just the essentials that they need and not adding fluff to the course. So, and that can be like back of the napkin, little notebook scribbling. So sometimes the outline would take me about a month to plan it all out. Then once I have that outline done, then it's just writing up the lectures and recording the videos and creating the sales page. So that's the easy part. Once you know what to do, then you just go ahead and create it.
Yeah, no, it's so true. So true. And then when it comes to like, so once you do have that created, like for creating the video, honestly, the easiest thing to do is just use PowerPoint or Keynote, depending on what you're teaching, of course. And then use a screen recording tool like ScreenFlow or Loom or Camtasia. And what you do is you go through your lecture as if you're giving a live presentation. and it will record your screen and your audio. So then what you do is once you're done, you just upload it to your course. There's no crazy editing. But if you don't want to do that, other ideas, you could do interviews with experts, cheat sheets, case studies, supporting materials, toolkits. The biggest takeaway that I hope you get from here, it does not need to be expensive or complicated to look professional and get people results. All right, now who's ready to get into the actual fun stuff? The step that I know you are actually looking forward to, which is the launch. And this is exciting because this is the moment where you start to see students enroll, sales come in. Now, if you remember way back in step 3, I showed you how to build an email list. Now what we're going to do is we're going to launch your course to that list of new raving fans. And experimentation, it's great, but I think sometimes it's better just to follow a proven plan that works, which is this. The easiest way to make money with your course is actually to do it in 2 phases over a 30-day period. So the first phase is all about educating your community. So this is over a 1 to 2 week period. You're building buzz for your course, you're giving them value, and then you launch your course the following 1 to 2 weeks. Now, for your first launch, keep things small. You can still make a meaningful amount of money. You can still make a meaningful impact with your students by having a small audience that you launch to. So this is the education phase, right? So you're doing the mini course here, you're blogging, maybe you're doing webinars, the giveaway. And at the end of this phase, people are going to know that you can help them because you have. They're going to want your course because you've generated a demand for it, but they also trust you. Now, they trust you because you've earned it. There is no sneaky marketing here. For 8 days, you gave nothing but pure value, regardless of if people purchased from you or not. And then you'll start to see that you have maybe a couple hundred, 500 or more, of which a percentage of those people are going to be ready. And you go into the sales phase of the launch. So this is our 8-day launch phase. And for 8 days, you're going to be sending out 8 emails. But don't worry, I'm going to tell you what to put in those emails now. So day 1, you send out a course teaser. So mention you'll be launching a course, but people can't buy just yet. You think of it like it's the movie trailer before the movie premiere. Day 2, you talk about what's inside the course and really focusing on the transformation and the outcome. Day 3, this is where your course is open for enrollment. And this is a first moment where people can buy your course. Day 4, send out an email addressing FAQs, things like, is this course right for me? Day 5, you add in a surprise bonus to your course offer. Day 6, send out a thank you email to everyone on your list, thanking the people that joined. And here I would include social proof. It's like testimonials, things that people are saying like that are already getting results in your course. Day 7, you make a logical argument for why your course makes sense. And you can be very transparent here. Be like, look, my course is not for everyone, but it is for you if, and then explain why. And then day 8 is where you say enrollment is closing, and this is the last chance that people can buy, but you can actually send an extra 1 to 2 emails here. So this is what the launch calendar looks like. Definitely take a screenshot of this, or if you're really quick at drawing, you can draw it out. But just note, the money will typically come in spurts. So when you do your launch, the first day that you open up enrollment, you'll have sales come in, but these are the action takers. These are the people that were waiting on the edge of their seats. Expect sales to drop. And then the most sales you'll find usually comes in on the very last day. Now, Susie, I'm curious, with your course launches, do you see a similar pattern when it comes to enrollments? Do you get most sales on the very last day?
Yeah, definitely. That last day, because you're thinking like, oh my goodness, people aren't enrolling, or like the sales are fluctuating, but the last day is when most people buy. It's that scarcity. It's like the timer's running out if I don't get in now. So yeah, definitely the same process. And also like the first day you have those go-getters and they get the course immediately as soon as you send out that email. But then most of your sales will come on the last day.
Yeah, and you guys are so lucky to know this ahead of time because, I mean, most people go into the launches without realizing this. And then on day 3, they're like, oh, my launch flopped. This didn't work out. But really, you got to wait until the very last day. Now, this is a testimonial from Lee, but this is a testimonial from this workshop because he had done it, actually, I think a couple of years ago. He followed everything that I've just shared with you. I've not held any information back. He grew his list to over 1,400 people, had a final sign up of over 240 people. Now, I'm not saying those results are typical because that is an incredibly high conversion rate. What I am saying though, is that if you take action on everything you just learned today, you will get results. Now, after your initial launch, what we teach is you can actually scale and automate this. So it's beyond the scope of this training because it's a little bit more advanced, but I just want you to have a sense of like what this can lead into. So while we talked about the launch and you're physically opening and closing enrollment, you can automate it so you have people going through your education phase, your mini course, and buying your course every single day. Another term for that is evergreen, if you hear people talk about it. And if you can get one person, even one person in your course, you can get 10. If you can get 10, you can get 100. If you can get 100, you can go to 1,000. So just remember that this will continue to grow. And the perfect example of this is Angela Fair. So she was actually one of Teachable's very first customers back when we were called Fedora. Long story, we won't get into it. And she started off at 0. And she announced that she had finally hit over 10,000 students. And so of course we had to send her the snazzy Teachable t-shirt in the mail. But I just want you to look at this and know that everyone starts at 0. Susie started at 0. And you just have to take action. Just keep building it bit by bit. Now, I actually have a bonus step for you. And this is because I could share all these strategies, but there's really one key thing that is important to have. And that is you need to create the right environment. So this is a picture that I took this morning. Who knows what I am holding? I will give you a hint. It's a teacup. Kind of. It's a mug, but I'm going to call it a teacup. And I actually love drinking tea. For me, it's a ritual. And I just know that when I start my day off with a cup of tea, I know I'm starting my day off on the right path. Now, you're sitting here and you're like, cool. What does this have to do with courses? Well, as someone who's going to create their first course, it is so important that you start your course creation journey off on the right path. And the best way to do this is to create an environment where you are actually going to succeed. And to do that, what you need to have is a teacup. So you need to have the tools. You need the education. You need some type of accountability or community. You need an unfair advantage and a plan. You see what I did there? Thank you.
Oh gosh, that was far-fetched.
And whether you're trying to get in shape, learn a new language, become great at a sport, those are the foundational things that you need to set yourself up to succeed. Now, we did it. We've gone through it, and I want to talk about you for a second because you're obviously serious about creating a profitable online course, and I want to just acknowledge you for that because so many people talk about launching an online business, growing an online course, and so few people take the time to show up on a Friday of all days to sit for an hour to learn how to do this. So I want you to, first of all, give yourself a pat on the back for showing up to learn about this. And just, I hope you're proud of yourself because so many people just talk about it, but don't actually show up to do it. And I would love to know, what has been your biggest takeaway so far in this presentation? Type into the chat if there was an aha moment that you had or a new strategy that you learned. Let me know in the chat. But what I do hope your biggest takeaway is, no matter what stage you're at, is that you can do this. And I'm not saying this because it sounds cheesy. I'm saying it because I have done hundreds and hundreds of workshops like this, and I can say consistently, the people that get results are the ones that just take action. But maybe who feels a bit more like this photo, just information overload. You're like, wait, what was step 1? What was step 2? And I want to say, I completely empathize with this photo. I have been there. I know that feeling. And I want to say that helping more than 30,000 people create their own online courses we found that there's two paths that you can take from here, and both of them are going to work. So the first path is you just go on your course creation journey yourself. You take the learnings from this workshop, you read our blog, you go through all the content that Susie provides, and you take action on your own. Now, sometimes it can be a bit longer, but I do think it is a viable option for some of you here. You probably just needed a refresher and you're like, I got this, I'm good to go. The second path is you just follow a proven path from people who have actually done it before, and you get extra help. Now, usually this is faster just because there's that accountability. And if you want more of a hands-on approach, like in the second path, we actually have something really exciting that we're putting together, which is what we've called the Creator Challenge. Now, we have never done anything like this at this scale. And what's happening is over the next 3 months, you're going to get everything that you need to create your online course, start enrolling students, and just finally taking action on this idea that you have for it. And if you want to create a course, this is probably going to be one of the fastest ways to get it done. And I am so excited and happy to say that with the Creator Challenge, Susie is going to be a part of it. She's going to be having a mentorship session, and it lasts 3 months. So it kicks off on June 1st. And during this 3-month period, you're going to be creating your online course business alongside thousands of other creators who are on the same journey as you. And you'll be choosing your course topic, growing your email list, enrolling your first students, and getting sales all in 3 months. And as you go, every single week, there's going to be a lineup of guest mentors. We're going to be doing training workshops, Q&A sessions with people like Susie. We've got Ramit Sethi, Pat Flynn, Nicole Walters, Carrie Green, who's the founder of the Female Entrepreneur Association. And over these 3 months, there's one other thing that we wanted to add into this. When you hit milestones like publishing your first course, making your first sale, you're going to earn awards. So if you publish your course, we're going to give you 2 months free of ConvertKit to grow your email list. If you make your first sale, we'll send you the coveted Teachable mug in the mail. If you hit $1,000, you get the t-shirt. And if you hit $10,000, you're going to get a special plaque in the mail to acknowledge this. So, it's fun awards, but really it's just because rather than focusing on that 6-figure launch or those really big milestones, there's a lot to be said from earning your first sale and actually publishing your course. And then we have 5 grand award winners. So if you're blasting through this and you're like, okay, what is like the end goal? Like what can I really win? If you end up having the highest earning course in a single month, so either June or July or August, 5 grand award winners will win an all expenses paid trip to New York City for a mastermind weekend. But you don't have to be in this to win the grand award. You can just take advantage of all the training, the workshops, and those initial milestone awards. So it kicks off on June 1st. And really just imagine, you're going to be working alongside thousands of other creators. You have access to a private community where you can share your wins, get feedback, and you're going to be having everything you need to feel supported. But
it kicks off tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. It's crazy. But actually it's funny. So the kickoff is tomorrow, but people have, as we've been talking about this leading up to the launch, people have already been hitting milestones that we had to open it up to. I was telling you this earlier. We had to open it up to like earlier on so people could still win the prizes because they were already getting their first sale. But with all this, we're also going to be giving you the training. So you're going to get access to our flagship program, which is Teachable U. And this is our Teachable University. And we've broken it up into 4 key curriculums. So the first course you get access to is choosing your course topic. So if you've been struggling on like, how do I pick the right topic? How do I validate it? When you go through this course, you'll walk away with a validated course idea. You'll have a name for your course and just a healthy foundation to start building your course business. The second course you get access to is building your audience. So if you have your idea, but now you just need to start to build a community and email list so you have people who are interested in your course. When you go through this, at the end of it, you'll walk away with a mini course that you can use to grow your audience. You'll have all the tested tactics to grow your list and confidence in your audience and your course topic. Then you're going to get the Create Your Course. And at the end of this, you'll walk away with a fully fleshed out course outline. This is a step that I think stumps a lot of people. We're going to walk you through it step by step. You'll have a professional, high quality online course that your students love and all the tools and skills that you need to build your course from scratch. And then finally, you get the Launch Your Course program. And this is where we really go into like what we talked about today with the launch, but in so much more depth. So you'll have a proven launch method to launch your course. You have a perfectly priced course to hit your revenue targets, a beautifully designed sales page that is ready to convert, and a 30-day email sequence guaranteed to get you your first sale. Plus, we're including workbooks, checklists, templates, email swipe copy in every course. And then on top of this, you obviously need the tools, the tech to be able to do this. So we're including our Teachable plan. Now, our professional plan is the most popular plan. You have everything that you need to accept payments, upload your course videos, manage your students. There's live chat support. I'm obviously biased. I love Teachable, but like Susie, what is it about Teachable that you found to be helpful with growing your online course business?
Golly, I like Teachable because it's easy. It just takes the tech work and the over complicating it just out of the question. Like I can just upload my content, set my price, and have my students go through it. So I don't have to figure out all the tech on my own website. And I have all the control over it that I wanted to have if I would have set it up myself. So I have control of their email addresses. I can get that. I can set the price. I can determine the discounts. So I have all that control, but I don't have all the tech issues that you would have. So I love Teachable. It's really easy to use.
And that's really our goal is like, especially if you're just starting out, like we actually have web designers and developers that use Teachable. And we even asked them, we're like, but you could do this yourself. Like you could just code this from scratch. And they're like, just because you can, it doesn't mean it's a valuable use of your time. So we do really try to make it easy and simple. And Teachable is used by all these fine folks, including Susie. So everything you're getting today is you get entrance into the Creator Challenge. You're going to have access to the top mentors, the Q&A sessions. You've the private Facebook community. You're going to get Teachable You and those 4 curriculum training. You're going to get the professional plan and all the templates and checklists and downloads. And everything here is worth over $2,700. And honestly, if you were to pay for Teachable and all these bonuses, I think it would be a great investment. But if you join Teachable on a monthly plan, so $99 or $39, you can cancel at any time. We're going to give you a ticket to participate in the Creator Challenge, get all of these bonuses I just listed at no additional cost. Now, if you are already a Teachable customer, I just want to say we appreciate you being a part of the Teachable family. You're going to get all of this at no cost. We'll include it for you. So everything you get today, all of this just by joining our monthly plan. So what I want you to do is, if this feels like the right fit for you, if you're just excited and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a no-brainer, we have the button above this video that you can join the challenge. And we also have a 100% money back guarantee. So you can take 30 days, go through everything, set up your school, join the Creator Challenge community, attend those mentorship sessions. And if by the end of that time, it's just not the right fit for you, let me know. We will give you a full refund. There's no questions asked. It's 100% risk-free, so we can at least give everyone the opportunity to see, is this the right fit for them or not? And then you'll have everything you need, I'm so proud of this, to succeed with your course. And it still gets better. Gosh, I feel like Oprah when I say this, but it does. We have a special bonus for everyone watching this live, which is that if you join and get this bundle before we finish today, we're going to include our Teachable Summit on-demand workshops and trainings. I mean, this was such a fun event. We had Susie part of it as well. And you're going to get access to the interviews and trainings from people like Marie Forleo, Kim Coles, Nicole Walters. And it's just that added extra inspiration and motivation. So you get all of this. I'm not going to read it out because there's a lot here. For joining us for $39 or $99, you can cancel at any time. Nice note from Julia here, who had finally hit the 5-figure mark with her first course launch. Alan Perlman, in less than 72 hours, had already made over $6,000 in sales. But I mean, I just want to say his topic is on how to fly a drone, which I think is super cool. And we've really done everything we can to make this a no-brainer offer, because we are teaching you how to, even if you have 2 or 3 sales of a $100 course, it should cover your investment in Teachable, plus you get all these bonuses. So if this feels like the right fit for you, the button is above this video. You can click the orange button. And if you are already a Teachable customer, you can enter your email here. We'll automatically recognize you and you will just get instant access to all this. If not though, enter your email. And then when you get to this page, scroll down and click on the plan that you would like. Then you can add your email and you can purchase the plan. And then you'll get immediate access to the Creator Challenge resource area. Okay, so why is this offer so great? Why are we just including all this for free? The reason is that for Teachable as a company, we need the creators that are on this journey with us to be successful, right? Because when your business is growing, we want you to be happy. We want you to feel confident with Teachable. So we do everything that we can to ensure you have the resources, the training to be able to grow your business with Teachable. And then if you need assistance once you're in, our customer care team is literally standing by to answer any questions you have. But I think let's just get into our Q&A. Thank you so much for, again, spending your Friday here with us when you could be out, I don't know, walking in a park or enjoying the sunshine if it's sunny where you are. But we appreciate you being here. Let's answer your questions. Now, Susie, are there any questions that you've seen come up throughout this workshop, or maybe things that you see like new creators do when it comes to launching their course that you just wish that they knew?
Golly, I see most people just get stuck and never launch. So what kind of advice do you have for them? Like, I have this idea, I've started working on my course, but I just lost confidence. So now what do I do?
I think like that's a really great question. And I think everyone has gotten to a place where you just lose confidence and you're like, should I be doing this? First of all, regardless of if you end up joining the Creator Challenge or not, I think it's important to find like-minded people to do it with you, because what you'll very quickly find is that everyone feels the same way. But when you look at other people feeling that way, you're like, wait, why? I'm like, you're amazing. Like, you should keep doing this. So find like some type of support group. I'm sure you've got a ton of people in your community that can even network together, but it's important to have people on the journey with you, I think. Okay, looking here in the chat. Okay, so Ella says, I have a question. I'm still in the process of setting up my blog, halfway through Blog by Number. Yay. Is this the right thing to do for right now? Is it not too early? Okay, so this is a really great question. And I think it just depends on what would you like your focus to be on. If you want to launch your course and you want that accountability and community, I mean, the Creator Challenge is a perfect fit. If you don't want to launch your course right away, I mean, I would keep going with Blog by Numbers. I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about this course. But Susie, what would you say to Ella here?
So if you do want to create a course, you could actually create a free course and use it as a list builder. So you can create that free mini course right now and build your email list. And then at the end of 3 months, when you're like, okay, well, I'm building my list of this, then upgrade it and create that paid for course. If you're ready for creating a course. If you're not ready yet, you can, like Jess said earlier, you can take your time and learn this later. It's amazing that you're here, but I would almost encourage you to finish Blog by Number first before diving into course creation, because it could be a little bit more advanced.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so looking in the chat here, Amal says, or is asking, is it today that you can join? So the kickoff is tomorrow, and I will say we have a very, very special guest mentor session that we're not going to say because we want this to be a surprise, on June 7th. So, I mean, if anything, if you're only going to do 1 month of the Creator Challenge, definitely I would start like now so you can kind of see what is happening. But yeah, so technically you could join like later on, but you wouldn't get like the fast action bonus. You wouldn't get all of like the things that are happening in the month of June. All right. Corey says, I'm so paralyzed by the fear of failure in launching and the fear of success in launching. Yeah, it's interesting that you bring that up, because I do think there's always two sides of it. Some people are afraid of the success and like, what do I do now? What do I do if this works? But just, again, having a support network, a community to kind of do this journey with you, I think will make a difference. Okay, Let's take one more question. Let's do it for Susie here, and then I'm happy to stick around if you guys have any other additional questions about the Creator Challenge. But it doesn't seem like you have many questions, which is great. People just seem to be excited. And if there are no questions, I guess maybe we could finish by thanking everyone. Again, I say we do this workshop and it's just like not so few people, but a lot of people talk about doing courses. Not many people like spend a Friday right before a weekend to learn about it. So thank you for having us here, Susie. Thank you for you watching this, for taking action on it. But do you have any like final parting words for creators that are wanting to create a course?
Golly, so I would encourage you guys to go through the challenge, even if, like Jess said, you sign up for 1 or 2 or all 3 months for the Creators Challenge. It is like the summer is such a great time for bloggers because most of our audiences are busy. They're like, where most of us here talk to moms or to females, and they're busy with their families and so on. So the summer is a fantastic time to create products and courses. So I would go ahead and like sign up for the challenge, start planning out your course, start creating it, get some free swag from Teachable as you're hitting your milestones, and then launch it in a month or so that then you get your audience ready and excited for it. But I always take the summers and kind of work on new big projects, work on new courses. And if you guys have noticed, I launched my big courses in August because that's the end of summer. Everybody's back to school. I've done all that work. And then in August, boom, like everything's fantastic. Maybe you want to launch it a little earlier for the Creators Challenge. But the summer is a fantastic time to kind of learn a new skill and to force yourself to really take action. I'm looking at you, Corey, to take action and launch that course.
So great. Well, thank you so much, Susie, for having us. Thank you for being here, everyone. And we'll see you in the community if you've joined the Creator Challenge. If not, though, keep taking action. You can do this. And until next time, we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, Jess. Thanks for having me.